It's Saturday morning, and it's time for gardening with the garden guru, Christie Rasure, presented by Shores, bumper to bumper, downtown Goodland, and those great quality Fertilome yard and garden products. Happy Saturday morning to you, Christie Rasure.
Happy summer to you.
Wow. I tell you, I think summer is definitely here.
Yes, I think so. You know, I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I have a brother who lives down eastern Kansas on a lake, and last year they had 60-some days of 100-degree temperatures. Needless to say, he let me know that it was not right that we had no 100-degree days last year. And like you said, you're getting your payback now.
I guess. Is he got more power than you think, maybe?
I think so. Needless to say, you know, and I felt for them last year. Oh, they were just struggling, you know, down by Wichita. And it was just so hot last year. Well, this year's not much better for them. And then, of course, for the statewide, because we've been just as hot. And it's just tough. Yeah,
we're in for a hot weekend, but there is chances of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, afternoon and evening. So, and it's not very big chances yet, but that's all right. We'll just leave it in there. That just cools it a little bit better. If we get the ground cooled off, I think that would help a lot.
It would help. And, you know, the thing is, we've had humidity, especially in the mornings. I've been noticing how high the humidities have been, and it's like, where's it coming from?
Well, yeah.
You know, there's no moisture out there, but we have had humidity. And so it does make us wonder. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that will bring some moisture to our way.
I'm hoping so. So. Well, for our listeners, this is our weekly program, Gardening with the Garden Guru, Christie Rasure, and it is presented by Shores Bumper to Bumper and those great Fertilome yard products, yard and garden. And their Shores are just north of 17th on Main. My goodness, they've been open since 5 this morning. Boy, is that handy for early morning gardeners, and I suspect many people have been gardening early in the morning.
Well, you almost have to, because that's the only time you can actually stand to be outside. And so you go out early, get it done, and then go inside, in the house, and enjoy the coolness of our houses later on.
Yeah, I like that.
So.
And people have been watering the yards and pets and the kids and everything. I wonder what we should talk about.
How about water?
Oh, I like it.
I was going to say, that is something we just can't water enough right now. And like you said, our pets, our kids, everybody, we all need to have water too. But as we are needing water, as bad as we need water, our plants do too. And so we've got to remember that. The thing is, we have an investment in our property, and that, be it a tree, be it the grass, be it our flowers, we have an investment, and we need to take care of that investment and make sure we get it well watered.
Oh, yeah, and don't waste the water. Be careful if you've got a sprayer in your yard or your hose. Maybe you've got a leak or something. Get it fixed.
Right. I was going to say, it may be take a 10-cent washer. I was going to say, go down and get a package of washers, and it may be that simple, or it may be taking your hose. If you do have a major leak on your hose, take your hose down and have Greg and the guys take care of that hose, get it fixed, and you don't have to worry about that leaking and wasting all that water.
I'll tell you, they can do so much at Shores that folks don't even think about sometimes.
That's right. And I was going to say, the little bit that you're going to pay to have that fixed is worth a lot later on in your water bill. And you just need to be making sure it is fixed, or a new hose is put on that hydrant.
Yeah, and now there's the, timer for your hoses?
Oh, I love my timers. Yes, I use timers often, because for me, sometimes I can't get back to go and shut my water off or move my water. So this way I don't have to worry about it. Put a timer on, I can leave and come back, and I know it's been shut off.
Well, they're pretty simple to operate and easy to install, aren't they?
They are. Just hook them to your hydrant, and then go ahead and just, they're pretty easy. And you can get them so that you can put them on different days. They're battery operated. Those are battery operated.
Oh.
Most of them that I use, I just go ahead and set. I don't have that many of the battery-operated ones. I just have the ones where you turn the dial to an hour, 2 hours, whatever I'm doing, and walk away. And I've got them hooked to my hydrant. From the hydrant is my hose, or like that one where it has the feeder on it, I have actually the hydrant, the timer, the feeder mechanism, which is actually a canister, and it feeds. I can put an insecticide, I could put a fungicide, I could put fertilizer, or I've used Revive in it. And wonderful. I really like this stuff.
Now, do you water early in the morning or in the afternoon?
You know, I've been doing more in the evening and during the night just because I can go and change my water often and because I don't have sprinkler systems.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to do that. I don't like to water during the middle of the day. Number one, because of the wind. Number two, because, you know, we're evaporating so much. So I usually do mine evening and then nighttime. And that's when I like to do mine.
Evening and nighttime.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
So,
now, are you talking like for 2 or 3 hours at a time, or an hour here and an hour there?
You know, when I can, when I've got the ones that I have the timers on and everything, I go usually an hour and a half to 2 hours. But it's because of the type of sprinklers I have on and everything, and that way it does a very nice job. Now, if you're using the micro jets or the micro spinners, which Greg sells down there, those you can go ahead and only, you know, it only takes about 40 minutes, and you'll have it well saturated.
Oh.
And so those are really nice, and it doesn't take as much to water, or take as long to water than if you're using the microjets.
Microjets.
Uh-huh.
Hadn't heard of those.
What those are is they are like drippers, or there are sprayers that you can do, and you can do a 90-degree, 180-degree, or full 360-degree. And what it does is it sprays it, but it keeps it lower to the ground, and it actually just puts on the right amount of water in a certain area.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen some of these sprayers that looks like they give it about a 10-foot arc of water going up. Some of that water's lost somewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. And, you know, I don't really care to use those kind of sprinklers because I don't want to use that. And it's one of those things that you just want to go and keep it as low to the ground as you can. And that, number one, so the wind isn't catching it with our wind out here. And the other part of it is because you don't want to go and have the water wasted through evaporation.
Yeah. We have the evapotranspiration report every day on KLOE, but that's, I think, for the irrigators, but it's also nice to hear from the people can kind of have an idea of what to water, when, and how long.
Right, exactly. And that's what a lot of that stuff is that's the reason that you guys are giving us that information. True, a lot of gardeners really, it doesn't matter a lot to them, but when you're doing a large amount of area or the farmers in the field, it is important to know.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of things going on. So water in the morning, that's what you like to do, or in the evening?
I do. You know, if I'm going to do it in the morning, I do it very, very early, and then have it done. I like to have it done by about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably have to mow my yard this weekend.
Well, that'd be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, they're going to use it for the parade not long from now on Broadway. So I want it to look nice and not looks kind of scary anyway. But got to do that. I did not start watering my yard. So if you didn't start, it's probably not a good idea to start, is it?
No, I would be doing it especially if you've had grass. I would say you don't want that fine dust and all that. And it's just wise. Even if you've got like a buffalo grass or something like that, it is wise to be watering because you don't want to lose those plants.
I'm not sure what I have, but it's kind of scary. It's pretty brown right now.
I bet it is.
Kind of crispy grass when you walk on it, but the weeds are doing great. The goofy things.
Of course. That's the way it always does.
Yeah. Now, I didn't spray the yard for weeds this year, but I did spray along the fence, so the fence does not have weeds on it.
I bet not. I bet they are gone, and that's a good thing. It's, you know, right now it is too hot to be spraying out there. Most of your sprays actually will say not to go over 85 degrees. The reason for that is because the hotter it is, the more that spray will actually, we call it multiply or drift.
Oh.
We don't have to have wind to make that drift. What it does is heat makes that, it's what they call volatilize. And it very much does. And what we don't want to do is be killing stuff, either our neighbor's yard or the other plants that we want to save.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that we don't do that.
Speaking of people, that's a good thing, too, to be careful that when you do spray that you don't have your neighborhood kids around.
Neighborhood kids, or you're watching your neighborhood's yard, too.
Yeah, and animals.
Definitely. Animals, too. But you want to make sure that you're not messing with the neighborhood yards, too.
Right.
Make sure that you don't have drift and all that into someone else's yard.
Great idea.
Okay.
Well, we've Shore's Fertilome Yard and Garden Products. What product was it you had mentioned earlier that you put on to help the water?
Revive. Remember, we have to revive that yard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, I've been really pleased because I have used it on my garden. I've used it on my yard, on my lawn, and everything. And what it does is makes the water wetter. And I know that sounds crazy, but it really does work. And then what we do, we use it on that, but it also makes any nutrients or any fertilizers, anything that we would put on, it makes it work twice as good. But the thing is, at this time of year and with this kind of heat, do not fertilize because those plants are just trying to survive. And if you fertilize, that means that it's wanting to grow. And right now, it's just trying to survive.
Wow.
So we're really saying, don't fertilize.
Don't fertilize it.
Just let it cool down before you do that.
But do water.
Do water.
Yeah.
And water and water.
Well, we'll get the rain when we need it.
That's right.
I guess it always comes in that way. And some folks have had little spells of water, not lately. I haven't done many of the rainfall reports lately. I'm ready to do some if I have to.
I was going to say, wouldn't that be a nice thing to do?
Be a very nice thing. I would enjoy that, especially fair time, we could use that. Fairs might bring the rain, though. Some have gone already this week, fairs.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, there have been some fairs going on already, and a lot of fairs coming up, which, if you're going to think about entering into the fair, think about entering flowers and vegetables. We'd love to have them come.
I like it. Okay. Hold that thought there, Christie Rasure, Gardening with the Garden Guru, Christie Rasure. It's Saturday morning. And, of course, Christie's got a lot of ideas. We're going to tackle the fairs and other things that she has some good ideas. She's been involved in these a long time. Our visit with Christie Rasure, the Garden Guru, is brought to you Saturdays by Shore's Bumper to Bumper and the great quality Fertilome Yard and Garden Products. Boy, I tell you, Shore's have it all. And the nice thing, Christie, they'll help you find what you need, too.
Yes, they will. And I was going to say, if you've got a certain problem or a certain project you're working on, they can help you with that. And if you don't know what a certain weed or bug is, they will actually, if you don't know what it is, go on to the website, which is www.fertilome.com.
Fertilome.com. That's a good, make it a favorite.
That's right. That's right. And that way you can go ahead and see what you need and for that particular, and what you may think is a weed or a major insect for your yard may not be. It may be something very beneficial. And so make sure that you're taking the right steps to take care of that weed or that plant or that insect, control it right.
Good idea. I like that. That way you won't make a mistake and get rid of something that should be helping you.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's been times, and I know there's a ladybug called the Asian ladybug that's out right now. I mean, I've got quite a few of them out right now, and they are actually very beneficial. They are kind of obnoxious things because they multiply so quickly. But on the other hand, they are beneficial, but it will tell you how to I don't want to say control it, but how to deal with them and actually what to be looking for on the Asian ladybug, what their characteristics, how their spot pattern is and everything on there. And that's what's neat about Fertilome has really worked hard to get that website just the way it can be for all of us non-computer users.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to take big classes to use it.
That's right, exactly.
You can if you want, but you don't have to.
Yeah. That's
Well,
right.
let's get back to the fairs. I'm excited. I'll be out at fairs this coming week and on the radio the next 2 weeks, as a matter of fact. What are some things we need to be doing maybe to kind of prep for the fairs, especially if we're going to enter something in 4-H or open class?
Well, if you're going to be entering something into the fair, the best thing is to pick it the night before. I always try to pick it after the sun has gone down. If you are taking flowers, it is wise to take a bucket of warm water, and we say either put a little bit of 7-Up or a little bit of sugar. If you don't have any flour preservative, at home, put the 7-Up or a little bit of sugar in there. What it does is it gives that sweetness that those plants like to, and it makes it take up that water a little easier too, and preserves it also. Okay, always make sure that you have your bucket of warm water with that in it when you go out to the garden. And then cut your flowers always on an angle and put it into that water as soon as you cut it. Don't go and just lay it on the ground and think, oh, I'll come back and get it here in a little bit. Make sure you put it in that water immediately. It's always best to go and put it in a in a cool, dark spot. So in your home somewhere where it's cool and dark for the evening, and then the next morning you are ready. You can see which flowers are going to be good to take to the fair, which ones are not. In Sherman County, we have our own vases, so you just bring that bucket. We will go and help you put those flowers into the vases and get them ready for the show. And in the other counties, you'll have to just read your fair book and see if they say to bring your own vases or if they provide the vases.
Okay.
But anyway, that is the best way to go and bring the flowers to the fair. Cut them the night before so they're well hydrated and all, and they seem to last a little longer. If you are taking your own vase to the fair, it is wise to put what we call Clorox water in them. We say 1 part of Clorox to 10 parts of water. In other words, not very much. So what this does is keeps the algae down, and it keeps the bacteria down, which is actually what will destroy a flower faster than anything else.
Oh.
And you always want to make sure that bud vase is or vase, whatever you're using, is very clean and it is sterilized, because you want no bacteria, or as little as possible, because that's what will destroy a flower faster than anything else.
Now, will you be judging any flowers this year?
Yes, I will.
Oh.
I will be judging in Thomas. I had to miss one here this last week because of family funeral, but I will be going and judging in Thomas. I'm a superintendent in Sherman County, cannot judge here. And then Cheyenne County and Decatur County. And Decatur County actually has me for 2 different events.
Oh.
And so, so I've got a few fairs coming up.
Sure. And you're a master gardener?
I am a master gardener, and I'm a state certified judge too, so in horticulture and floriculture. And I've done it for many years, and it's something you truly look forward to. Every year I have special memories. The bad thing is I have not written all these down. And I have judged probably, I think there was a couple years that I did not. But in 31 years, I've probably only missed a couple years.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's excellent.
Yeah. And it's something, truly, truly enjoy. So neat to see all the different things. And it's fun to work with kids. When I get to do conference judging, that just thrills me. And that is where I actually work with the 4-H kids, and you get to talk one-on-one with them. What type of flower is it? How did you grow it? Is it pre-annual? Is it an annual? I know I'm giving some of the secrets of the questions I ask, but that's okay. A lot of the kids have seen me before. They know that I will go ahead and ask some of the same questions year after year, but I want to know that.
Yeah.
If it is an annual, or if it's a vegetable, I might ask them, okay, when did you plant this? Did you fertilize it? Have you had any bug problems on it? Have you had any hail? And, and some people think just because they've had hail, grasshoppers, drought, or, any of those in what I call environmental problems, that they cannot enter or they should not enter into the fair. And that is the last thing you should really think about, because as a judge, I always ask that first thing. I always ask is, what environmental problems have you had this year? Have you had heat? I understand, because we've had a lot of heat this year everywhere. But have you had hail in your area? Have you had a terrible amount of grasshoppers in the area? Have you had, I'll ask different questions like that and take that into consideration, because that is something that the homeowner, they have no control over.
Oh, okay.
And so that is something I always take in consideration. And then like the kids, whenever I'm working with them, I will, ask them, like I said, when did you plant it? Some of the kids, and this is what's so cool, and I know that one year I had a boy that he could tell me exactly what day he planted it, what day he fertilized it, what day it started, this happened to be corn, what day it started tasseling, or, when it started tasseling, and everything. And it was just so cool. That is a memory I will always remember, because this kid knew his stuff, and it was really neat.
Well, that's how part of the learning process.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And he took that much interest in it. The other thing that you want to know is, like, say you bring sweet corn to the fair, and we're going to conference judge. If it's a county where I conference judge, always make sure that you know exactly what variety it is, because as a judge, I'll ask that.
So you should know your product.
You should know the produce, or, the plants that you are planting, because it is important. It really is.
Well, we have 8 minutes left. We've covered a lot of ground, a lot of territory. So entries, know your stuff, huh?
Know your stuff. Know how to take care of it. Remember that, like we enter in Sherman County, we enter on Tuesday. It's not picked up until Saturday. So remember that. So it's very important to have it prepped right, so that when people go to look at it on, say, Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, that it actually looks good. It doesn't look like it's been sitting there forever.
Very nice, very nice. And all the vases are all the same, at least in Goodland, and that looks nice and uniform.
Yes, it is. That's something we've really worked hard about doing, and I know in Thomas County they're working on that project too, because I know I've been helping them collect some vases and so forth for us, and we've been working really hard on trying to find those kind of things for them. We are working, any of the counties that are looking to do that and improve their look, their image, we would be happy to help you.
Yeah, very good. Now, unfortunately, Shores Bumper to Bumper they don't have the vases, but they've got all the flower seeds. They've got their Fertilome yard and garden products for all this. So you're good year round at Shores.
That's right. And the thing is, they do have all the products that you need, but they also have some of the, some of, like the fungicides, because as a judge, a lot of times, if we see something on there, and I can't say that all of it does, or all of the judges will do this, but like when I judge, especially on an open class, if we have something that is iron chlorotic, if we have something that has a fungus on, if it has spider mites and aphids, I will write that on there, and so then you can go to Shores and say, this is what my judge said is wrong with my plants. Do you have the product for that? And they will, of course, have the product to help with that. So we try to help you. I try to help as a judge. I try to help you to fix the problems that you've got maybe in your yard.
Sure. Well, that's what it's about. You're there to help, not just to slap a ribbon on it or a little sticker.
Well, that's right. And a lot of counties, we may only be able to give one blue, one red, and one white. And so the other entries are just entries. But we try to go and just, they're participants. And so what we do try to do is make sure that they know what is wrong with if there is a problem and how to take care of that problem.
Good point. Speaking of taking care of things, I know a lot of businesses in the area, the whole tri-state area, are visited by 4-Hers, the groups and everybody that have helped donate prize money or to buy more ribbons or to buy this. And it's really great that they get to help out and boost the cooperative spirit of everybody at the county fair. So big thank you to the folks that do help out. And I know Shores does quite a bit, and maybe buy trophies or plaques or ribbons, so it makes it really handy for everybody.
That's right. And I know they also have a ride out at the fairgrounds.
Yep.
And so go and take a ride on that ride, and I'll let anybody do it but me, because I will not ride that ride. It spins too much for me.
We have some great carnival workers, all local people,
right.
Guys and gals and clubs and organizations. So hats off to all those, plus the ones that work in the background and say, "Oh, I'll help out, but don't worry about my name or anything."
Yeah, that's the thing. I was going to say, you just might this year see the Garden Guru help with Shores Ride this year, because if things work well, I maybe have a chance to do that this year.
Well, that'll work. We'll be excited to see that.
Yeah. As long as I don't have to ride it, we'll be okay.
Okay. That's good. You could be the seatbelt checker.
Yeah, that's what I've usually done, too, on that one. And so, but no, this is a great time of year to be visiting with our neighbors, because that's sometimes the only time we get to see our neighbors is actually out at the fair.
Yeah.
And so go take part in all the different types of fairs we have. And I mean, we have so many different counties. I enjoy, and yes, I get to see many fairs because of judging and all, but it is fun to go even in the evenings and go see another fair and see the people and just participate in another county's fair also. Well,
the folks in each county, each different fair, they work hard, and when you get hey, that looks nice, or I like that idea, or you just don't know who you're going to run into at the fairs either.
That's right. And, every county has something different. And I know, and I have to say, because this is where I am from, but Decatur County, they are known for their pork burgers. Needless to say, every year I have to have a pork burger, and I enjoy that. So, that's something that you enjoy. You know that each county has something different and something special, so that's what we do.
Well, it's good all the way around, and people donate their time and their effort and the money to make these fairs in good shape, and they are. So hats off to those that are in charge of the fairs, the rides, the security, and whatever goes in. At 4-Hers, FFA, Open Class. A lot of people are starting to enter more things, don't you think?
And that's great. And the thing is, you don't have to just do it for yourself. Say if neighbor has some flowers that are really pretty, and say maybe they are a shut-in. This is something that we have really been trying to promote, even in Sherman County, too, and I know I did it for somebody last year just because I wasn't really, it's hard for me to enter something because people think I should know how to grow it. Sometimes I don't, but anyway, but I was actually helping somebody last year, and these two ladies they're kind of shut-ins, and the one lady she's like 98 years old, but she watches her flowers every day from her window, and she had some of the prettiest lilies. And so I called them, asked them if I could enter them into the fair, and guess what? They got grand. I think they got grand and reserve last year. Beautiful flowers, and you know what? The thrill that they had knowing that they had gotten a ribbon, and yes, I said they had actually grown these flowers. Number one, they had grown them because they'd watered them and all that kind of stuff. But they had watched those flowers every day. And you know what? They didn't have the ability to go and take them to the fair. But as a master gardener, I did, and I entered it under their name. And that's what we need to do, is think about somebody else and be able to do that. Other people have the flowers but may not have the ability to enter them. And the joy that those two ladies got from that was great. Oh,
that had to be worth all the ribbons there are.
Yeah, and I didn't know right away that they had won. I mean, it was, I think it was that evening or maybe the next day, I can't even remember, before I actually got to call, go over and tell them, hey, guess what?
You won. How great.
And so it was great. It was wonderful.
It is. Well, Christie, what a great way to wrap up the show. Thanks so much for being with us, Christie Rasure, the garden guru. And what do you remind us? 2 things to do, actually.
I'm going to say 2 things. Water, 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 and always keep those hands dirty.
All right, we'll do it. Thanks so much, Christie. Enjoy the fairs. Christie Rasure. I'm Curtis Duncan, gardening with the garden guru, Christie Rasure, presented by Shore's Bumper to Bumper and those great Fertilome yard and garden products. Enjoy your day.